Greetings, denizens of the interwebs. Now, this is long overdue. Tezuka season, finished ages ago. But I feel the need to do a top 10 Tezuka manga. I've been thinking about this for weeks and weeks and weeks, and delaying it and delaying it and delaying it. And so now is the time. I have free time, and I just want to talk about Tezuka again. I kind of miss talking about Tezuka and Tezuka manga, even though I got a little bit tired of the Tezuka season videos towards the end. Even though I enjoyed talking about the individual series, I didn't like having that long of a season on my channel. But, there is a lack of Tezuka manga reviews, or just lack of people talking about Tezuka generally on YouTube. And I certainly haven't seen any top 10 lists for Tezuka manga, so yeah, this is it. So we'll just get started from the top. Kicking off the list at number 10, we have Princess Knight, one of Tezuka's earliest examples of shoujo manga, perhaps even arguably his earliest. A story about a young princess who gains or is born with the heart of a boy. So she's very courageous, very steadfast and earnest. And it's a nice short little tale of heroic shenanigans that basically surround her and exist within her little kingdom and little world that she lives in. Not too heavy on character development or story, but it is very enjoyable if you like proto-feminist works. But it can it does exist from a time where ideas of women and men and gender roles is quite black and white. So maybe want to avoid it if you find yourself easily offended by that. But nonetheless, a very enjoyable work. Coming in at number 9, we have the sequel to Princess Knight, and that is The Twin Knights, which centre around the protagonist of Princess Knight's son and daughter. And basically, this is Tezuka showcasing more of his ability to be able to develop characters and create more of a melodramatic story, as there are moments within this manga that do genuinely tug on the heartstrings. And that's why I place it within my top 10 of the Tezuka manga that I've read and owned. I thoroughly enjoyed this story. I liked how short it was, and I found the characters much more endearing than its parent series. Definitely check out The Twin Knights. At number 8, we have Dororo, a yokai manga and one of Tezuka's shonen manga about a dismembered samurai, or at least a dismembered body that becomes a samurai. Sound interesting? It really is. Basically about a young boy whose father basically sells or sacrifices all of his body parts, or all but the husk of his body, to 48 demons, and for basically the sake of glory on the battlefield. This boy grows up to later have to deal with all these demons that basically own his body parts by hunting them down and killing them, and thus gaining back one body part for each demon that he kills. Really, really interesting premise, and an early example of Tezuka's yokai manga, which is basically a response to Shigeru Mizuki, essentially, the master of yokai manga, you could argue. Definitely check this manga out, it is fantastic. Tezuka's darkest manga coming in at number 7 with Mu, a very disturbing tale about a priest who has to stop his homosexual lover from destroying the world with a poisonous gas. Yeah, not for the faint of heart, but still a good recommendation and still deserves a place in my top 10, even though there are aspects of the series, namely unlikable characters, or in this case, extremely unlikable characters, that can hinder anybody's enjoyment of the series. For the story and the premise alone, I highly recommend this series. At number 6, The Book of Human Insects has a special place in my heart for being the first ever Tezuka manga that I ever read. And it was a really great way, it's a really great gateway manga to get into the lexicon of the manga, pantheon that is Osamu Tezuka. It surrounds a woman who basically can absorb talents and people's attributes like a sponge, and basically, inch them out of their own professions and things like that. Basically, she's going around destroying people's lives by taking their lives over, essentially by stealing their talents and adding upon those talents to make them better with her own charismatic nature. Fantastic manga, I highly recommend it to anybody. We're at the halfway point now, and what exists at the halfway point at number 5? Nothing but Karmic Balance. And what better manga to put at the centre of this list but Buddha. It's about Buddha. Siddhartha Gautama The Buddha. I haven't reviewed this for a reason, because I haven't finished it, but I'm halfway through the series and it's unbelievably fantastic. A fictional retelling of the life of Prince Siddhartha and his trials, you know, to attain nirvana and perfect harmony with himself and with the world around him. It's unbelievably fantastic. I highly recommend this to anybody, whether you're religious or you have any sort of method of thought or not. I highly recommend this to anybody. Number 4, Ode to Kirihito. Fabled tale of a really great doctor whose life is destroyed by his superiors who live in nothing but pride and you know, and greed. Basically, you could compare this tale to Naoki Urasawa's Monster in the respect that it's a one-man tirade against the odds and his personal pursuit to oust those who completely besmirched his name through endless suffering. The level of suffering that the main character in this series goes through is unbelievable, and the fact that this is also highlighted by the fact that he's turning into a dog-like creature massively amplifies how dehumanization is portrayed within this series. A must-buy. And now the top 3. Apollo Song. Wow, arguably one of the darkest shonen manga I've ever read, about a boy whose feelings and idea towards love is that love and all acts of it, whether human or inhuman, should be destroyed. A boy who absolutely loathes and is sickened by the idea of love, and because of this he is punished by a god, where he has to endure endless trials of love and learn what it means to love in this. And it's a fantastic series. It's very short, only 2 volumes long, but it packs so much emotion into those 2 volumes. You'll literally be wanting to read more. But the fact that he's also, you know, in these trials endlessly as well, really pains you know, the reader, and you can really feel the emotional and you can really feel and empathise with the main character in that respect. Fantastic development within the characters in this series. Another must-buy. Now, the moment you've been waiting for. Number 2. Ayako. A very disturbing tale about a girl locked up for the majority of her life after she witnesses very unsavoury things from her family members, set in post-war Japan. It's a very political story, regarded as Osamu Tezuka's most political works. So if you're very interested in real-life history and the aftermath of the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombings and how that affected Japan after the war, and how Osamu Tezuka has brought that to life with his own unique flair for storytelling, then this is another must-buy. I mean, pretty much anything on this list is a must-buy because it's Osamu Tezuka and it's god of manga. But personally, this is one of my personal favourites. Ayako is fantastic. I could not recommend it enough. Number 1, my favourite manga by Osamu Tezuka of all time, Message to Adolf. Story centering around 3 Adolfs. Adolf Camille, a Japanese Jew, his best friend Adolf Camille, a German-Japanese son of a Nazi diplomat, and Adolf Hitler, and how these 3 Adolfs intertwine to create this story of massive proportions. A really serious and earnest political conspiracy thriller. I cannot recommend this enough. Any manga on this list is worth a read, but this specifically, for my personal tastes, this was absolutely fantastic. This was like watching an epic film, and epic it really is, because this is one of Tezuka's last great epics before he sadly passed away in 1989, and it's something that just needs to be read by anybody, whether you like the comic book medium or not, or you like manga or not. If you like a really dense historical political conspiracy thriller, I mean, you could categorize this in many genres. This needs to be read. So, thank you for watching. If any of the manga on this list pique your interest, be sure to head over to my Book Depository by using my link if you want to buy these manga. Book Depository offers free worldwide shipping, so there's no excuse And yeah, I get commission off of every sale on that, so that will greatly help. And as well, you'll be supporting the industry, which is also a great help. And you'll be reading Osamu Tezuka, which is a help for yourself, because if you're not reading Osamu Tezuka, then, well, yeah, I don't know what you're doing with your life. But yeah, that's been my top 10 Osamu Tezuka manga, subject to change, as is most of my top 10 manga, or top 10 lists, should I say, not manga. Thanks.